Outlet with Kei-Touch, the podcast. I'm so excited to have Condra Magee,
Hey,
CondraMagee.com.
hey,
She
hey.
is the female director first, right? Female director of the
That's
shop.
right.
Yes, and I am talking about LeBron James Springhill Company Emmy Award winning series, The Shop. She is also the director of the shop's new grooming line ads, and they are out at Walmart now. Came out in
Yes.
April, and yes, there is more. She is also the director of the all new Walmart branded game show Receipts. It launched last year. They're currently in the process of filming season 2. Condra McGee, welcome to the Outlet with Kei-Touch, the podcast.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is a pleasure to be here. I appreciate all that excitement and energy.
I mean, it's exciting what you're doing. Oh my gosh. A first director of the shop. Wow. And I mean, it's just so amazing because you are working with predominantly males about the barber shop, which is predominantly male focused, and you are a female director capturing this unscripted shoot. I mean, just directing it all. So this is really cool. This is really cool. And of course, I'm always shout out the boot. You from Louisiana, home girl.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. So I'm even more excited to see someone, from my neck of the woods. I'm from Houston, Texas, by way of Louisiana. That's where my roots are. So
Right.
it's just
Home
great to
girl.
see. Yeah, so great to see what you're doing. Wow. Wow. So talk to me about the art of storytelling and how that relates to you. CondraMcGee.com.
You know what? It feels to me just as sexy as you just said that, the art of storytelling, right? And that's the relationship that I have, right? It's been a wonderful journey. I like to tell people that storytelling and writing is my gift. It's the thing that I have done my entire life since I was a little girl. Sometimes I feel like I inherited it from my mother because she was a poet, and that's actually how I got started with writing poetry when I was a young girl, and then that just evolved into writing short stories. When I get bored, I would just be inside and just had this vivid imagination and would just write all the time. Eventually, I started writing any opportunity that I got, if it was for the school newsletter, for the local paper, whatever it was. If somebody said, "Hey, is that any volunteers to write?" I was raising my hand because I enjoyed it just that much. And so thankfully now I have this opportunity to write for film and television projects in different capacities, whether it's script writing or kind of commercial writing, and have been able to do that over the last many years successfully. So it's been quite a joy.
Oh, that's awesome. So your mom wrote poetry, and that's what kind of got you on this track and sparked the art of storytelling. But CondraMagee.com. It's pretty cool that drama is in the middle of your
I know, right?
name. That is really cool. That is really cool. Did you ever thank your mom and dad for that?
You know what? It wasn't until later on in life that I even realized that, right? That with Condra Magee, you get drama. I tell guys, I'm very peaceful, okay? So it's just wordplay. That's all. And just again speaks, I think, the uniqueness and the irony of it all is that drama, the dramatic writing, the creativity. And I was like, man, this was always here. I should have known that when I was in kindergarten. Maybe my path would have been just a little bit faster. Obviously, I'm happy to be where I am, but there are some detours along the way, but even those have been a blessing and help propel me to where I am today.
I love it. And it's true. You have to just trust the process. Things you learn along the way prepare you for what's coming ahead. Had you
Yeah.
not had these delays and uh, challenging experiences, you probably wouldn't be able to handle everything you are doing because you were doing so much, so
Mhm.
much. I mean, because you're directing two shows
Yeah.
and you're doing the ads for the shop's grooming line. I mean, this is a lot of work. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So talk to us about your relationship with HBCUs. Which one did you go to?
For sure. I am a proud rattler from Florida A&M University, located on the highest of seven hills in Tallahassee, Florida. So yes, I bleed orange and green to where we strike, strike, and strike again. Very proud to say that Tallahassee and Florida A&M is another home for me. It was an invaluable experience, and to be quite honest, that's actually how I got to where I am today, right? So I talked to you about just always writing, starting out with poetry, writing short stories and journalism. But when I went to school, I actually went to school for business. Maybe a little bit arrogant, but definitely naive of an 18-year-old to say that, I don't need anybody to teach me how to write. I need a backup plan. And so I decided to major in business. And it was during freshman orientation there at FAM that the school showed a film that had been made by two students while they were there on campus. And I'll never forget it. There in the auditorium, in Lee Auditorium on campus, I said, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write and I'm going to make a movie before I leave, right? And had never done that, had never thought about it, but it was just something about the fact that they were capable of doing it, and I was just so I guess, inspired by that film that I wanted to do it as well. So I never actually had the chance to finish the film. I did write my very first script there, but I was a part of a program in the School of Business where we would film these CEOs that would come and speak to us from all these Fortune 500 companies. And so that's where I got my camera experience. And then also we had a little TV studio within the School of Business, and I became the
Oh,
CEO of that, and kind of managed it, and had to recruit people, and get teams, and make it all happen. And so that was the very beginning of I guess me doing it. And I can say I don't know that honestly really understood how much value that was adding at the time, right? 'Cause to be quite honest,
mm.
it was a requirement. We had to pick one of these things to do, and that's just the one I gravitated towards. Thank God I did. And so that was the setup for me doing this. After graduation, I still did business, and like I said, it was one of the long ways around. But like you said, all of those challenges, all of those decisions have actually added value to what it is that I do.
Yes, and don't forget to mention who had written that screenplay.
Yes,
That's
yes, yes.
valuable right there.
It is. It's a definitely indelible mark that these two guys have left on me. And so obviously the university was really proud of that movie. And the makers of that movie were Will Packer and Rob Hardy. So those are now, household names, fast forward this many years later, and all of the wonderful projects that they have done, whether, kind of Stump the Yard, Think Like a Man, just a number. I can't even think about them all right now. But yeah, so it's good to be able to follow in those footsteps of those awesome rattlers.
Look at that, all coming from an HBCU,
Yes.
HBCU, FAMU, and being from Houston, and just like how it is in Louisiana, the band is everything, everything. And even back
For
then, we used
sure.
to watch videos on FAMU, of course, Southern, and that was before.
Mhm.
I don't even think they had girls in the band then. Women weren't in the band. But
I don't
we
even
used
know
to
if they got
watch
too
them.
many now, but
You have to be all the way on point. So, I mean, it's just amazing. FAMU, and they're not just known for their band, they have produced some amazing people, including Condra Magee, director of LeBron James, Springhill Company, Emmy Award winning series, The Shop. And she's
yeah.
also the director of the Shop grooming line ads. Look, they are available in Walmart. These products are available in Walmart. And she's also the director of the Walmart branded series.
Yes.
Receipts. Hey, where your receipts? Let's talk
Right.
about it. I love it. So let's get into it. I definitely want to start by talking about the grooming line. I think it's so important, and it's you should just be proud of yourself to be a part of this history in the
Yeah.
making, because I'm really happy that we have an icon like LeBron James that has put out, in the shop has put out this grooming line, and I believe it's what, 7 products.
Yeah, it is. It is. And launched on April 1st of this year. And like you said, at the Walmart stores. It's a
And
great opportunity.
yes, and I mean, the fact that you're participating in this, as far as having an icon like LeBron James,
Mhm.
having a grooming line, right, for men, and showing men, especially black men, it's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to groom yourself. That doesn't make you soft or sweet or whatever. And I want you to know, as a woman, we
Mhm.
love that. I love a
Yeah,
well groomed man. You know, I don't want you smelling funny. I want
absolutely.
your skin to look good. I mean, it's just, it is just something. So I think this is really good because it can persuade younger men as well to take care of their hygiene, be groomed, look presentable. That, that's so impactful. That is so impactful. Your thoughts?
It is, and obviously for me, the opportunity that I had to even direct the grooming line ads came from my relationship with the show, the shop, and so when I got the call to actually be a part of it, to be quite transparent, I didn't even know that this was in the making, that they were coming up with this ad, this line of grooming products. And so this is something that the guys have been working on behind the scenes, both LeBron and Mav and PR, and where they realized that there was a void, right, in the market, and that, similar to what you just said, that a lot of men still don't use anything outside of maybe just soap and water, right? But it is
Bar soap.
right. Exactly. And so that there just needed to even be this education or this introduction into kind of men's grooming, and that it was okay to actually take care of yourself, for the sake of preservation and making sure that you can continue to look good, making sure that your beard is soft, that your skin looks good. And so, salute to those guys for once again having the vision. That's the consistent theme with them, is always having the foresight, the vision to be able to kind of create and or bring to audiences something that they were lacking before. And so, extending an invitation for me to actually be a part of curating the ads that would actually launch this grooming line, was just, I mean, it's such an honor, right, and a blessing to be able to just hang out with them, to be a part of something that I know that it's so important to them, and then to just see that kind of airing all across the place. Yeah, it's a good feeling and a good opportunity. And then the interesting thing, like you said, it's available at Walmart. All of these products are priced under $10, so there's that affordability in there, and something that I want to make sure that I promote, right, so that people don't think, oh, that's going to be something that's really expensive. But no, they're actually conscious of that as a model too. But then personally for me, just the Walmart theme in my life, right? And so I got Walmart over here with the grooming line, and then of course I got Walmart over here with the game show receipts on Revolt and all of its digital properties. So I was like, okay, well, this all just feels like it's a good fit. It's supposed to be.
Hmm. And that's just really amazing. So shout out to you, Condra McGee, CondraMcGee.com, Condrama Gee. I love it. This is
Yes.
really cool. And so you are the director of the shop. Oh, and I just have to say, you must be doing a great job if they hired you to do these ads.
I'm doing something right. I'm doing something right.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so I want to shift gears and go to the shop. I mean, you came on last season in season
Mhm.
6. You're currently filming season 7. How many times have you actually directed a lot of unscripted work versus scripted, and how is this kind of different?
Yeah, I'd say it's been maybe about 50-50, over all of the years that
Okay.
I've been in the business, between scripted and unscripted. I'd say that a lot of my scripted content outside of the short film that I did that actually kind of launched my career, it has been on the commercial side, right? And so there's been a lot of short form projects that I've worked on and directed. But on the unscripted side, I, was you know, between kind of documentary style, pieces that
Okay.
I've been able to do.
Mhm.
And, of course, early on, when I first got started, music videos were still a thing. And so I was, of course, writing treatments and, some of that is a different form of scripting. But then there were also these reality shows that were becoming a thing, right? And so that then became like the way I got immersed into the unscripted world too, with doing just a bunch of pilots because everybody and their mama wanted to launch a reality show, and so I was doing some directing of those. So it's been I think a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. So
Mhm.
when you're doing directing the shop, out of season 6 and season 7 so far, what has
Yeah.
been like the most impactful moment or guest or scenario that you've seen that really, really touched you?
Yeah, it's funny that you use the word moment, right? Because that is a term that we use a lot on the show, and talking to people about the moment in which they transition from being kind of maybe this little known person to the big star, that they are today, right? And interestingly enough, it's something that I've always just been curious about, right? What's that experience like of that transition when just, today nobody knows your name, but tomorrow everybody knows you, right? And so there was an artist by the name of Hebrew Brantley who is out of Chicago, and he told this wonderful story last year during season 6. We had Hebrew on, we had Damson Idris on, we had the baby on that episode.
Ooh.
Um, and yeah, that was a heavy hitter. That was a powerful episode. But and there were great stories all around, from everybody, including Damson, and talking about his experience and his moment, right? Coming from where he's from in Peckham in London, right? All the way across the pond to come, to the States to be an actor. But Hebrew's story was really interesting. It was captivating, and he just paints, again, I guess perhaps because he's such a phenomenal artist, he paints this wonderful picture of the moment that he had when he was at Art Basel down in Miami, and he gets this call. And the call basically tells him that somebody wants to see his art, and that someone is Jay-Z. I won't spoil it for you. You absolutely need to see that episode. But if you can imagine, and people have been having fun. Like, would you have the lunch with Jay Z or take $500,000? I think Hebrew might say that he'd take the lunch with Jay Z just based on the experience that he had. And it's just a wonderful story on how his career evolved, and skyrocketed after that moment. So things like that, I think, are really inspirational with everything that I do. My goal is to inspire and entertain. And so I think that's probably why I gravitate to that one so much. The same thing, like I said, the baby was on that episode, and he talks about, like having the opportunity, getting a phone call saying that, the money from an advance or something had dropped, and him actually telling the driver to go to the bank and pull over just so he can look at the bank account and see, so those types of moments are just really, really fun that we have. But then, that the wonderful, the beautiful thing about the shop is that it gives audiences the opportunity to be in rooms and have experiences that they otherwise would have never had, right? Or it allows even our guests to be vulnerable and to kind of share with us. And so there's a moment that happened recently with Trent Williams of the 49ers, where he tells a
Mm,
story about
okay.
his cancer scare that he had, right? Recently, and what that journey has been like. And it's not only a powerful story coming from a guy, of his stature and his size, and just to feel that vulnerability and feel that sense of fear that he had and thinking about his family and his kids. But then also, it's a story of triumph, right? And persistence and determination to see, this is a guy that was just, performing on the highest stage at the Super Bowl, this year. And so just being able to kind of recognize that, I think it's, it'd be hard not to be inspired by a lot of the stories that we hear on the shop.
And I think that's really great because it also gives people hope. If they're
Absolutely.
working on something right now and they seem like they're always hitting the dead end, and that can be very inspiring to let them know, hey, just hold on, it's
Hold
around the
on.
corner. Just keep pushing, keep
The
pushing,
time
keep
is coming.
pushing. So I'm really glad that the show is really inspirational, especially being like, I don't know, would you classify it as a reality show?
It's a talk show. Yeah, it's
Talk
a,
show. It's more
conversation.
of a
Yep,
talk
it's a
show.
talk show for sure.
Yes, it's just great to see all of these different people that are doing great things, whether it's in music or sports, and they
Mhm.
have, conquered their dreams or reached their dreams, to be able to just get real, and share their life experiences. And it also brings, them down to the human level, right? Because we think
Yes.
of them as icons and stars, but when you see they struggle and have the same problems everyone else has, they just have a little bit more money. But that doesn't stop illness, that doesn't stop, heartache, that doesn't stop depression, that doesn't stop anything that you have to just deal with in life. Condra Magee, man, this
Yes,
is
yes.
really cool what you're doing, girl. Let's talk about the show Receipts and tell us what makes it so unique.
The thing that makes Receipts unique is just, it's as a game show, right? It's a Walmart branded game show. And the focus on it, though, is putting the spotlight on what we like to call Black and Unlimited people. And so it's an extension of Walmart's Black and Unlimited campaign. And the whole point of that is to, again, highlight Black people that are doing things that are unique, right? The thing that we don't necessarily talk about often, the thing that we might not have even known that enough of us are doing, and the things that, when we're talking about inspiration, would inspire even the next generation or even current generations to once again to be open-minded and know that your potential is limitless. And so the whole premise of the game show Receipts is, kind of based on the expression check the receipts. And so it's taking a shopper, kind of what you would assume to be just this ordinary person, and it gives our contestants, our celebrity contestants, this opportunity to guess what that person's hidden talent is based on all of the items that they've shopped for on the receipt, right? And so there's several different rounds with the different clues. It's just a lot of fun, high energy, something that the entire family can enjoy. And like I said, by at the end of it, we'll figure out if they've guessed appropriately or not, if what this person's kind of hidden or secret passion or talent is. And it's really cool because we get to spotlight people that I feel, otherwise just wouldn't be celebrated. Right. And so it gives us an opportunity to celebrate these individuals and applaud them and kind of lift them up a little bit higher, because we know that other people are watching. And that's an opportunity for us to do the same and encourage them to be inspired, similar to, me being in an auditorium and seeing a movie made by two college kids.
I mean, that is really cool. That is really cool. And it's teaching. You're teaching, you're learning while watching or playing this game show Receipts. And you
Yes,
can
yes.
find that on Revolt TV. Revolt TV, family game show, something cool. And Condra Magee is currently directing season two. So
Yes.
there's more to come with that. So how is it directing a game show? Is this your first game show?
It is my first game show. Yeah, yeah. Like you said, last year was season one where we launched it, almost kind of in a pilot phase, but obviously it was so successful that they brought it back. I'll tell you, last year we had just kind of a 12-minute format, but because of the success of the show and because of its appeal and the appetite, we are coming back this year with a full half hour format. And so I'm really, really, really excited about that. We've been adding in a couple of the game rounds, massaging it a little bit. We got a brand new host for everybody. And so just more heat and more star power that's coming with the celebrity contestants. And I'll tell you guys, I've been on interviews, what we call pre-interviews, all day today with our shoppers. And so there's some unique stories in there. And worth me sharing is because I just got off of one of those calls, and the young brother that we talked to, one of the questions I asked was, what's your experience been like along your journey? I imagine that people have been surprised to see you, a person of color, doing what you do. And he talked about some of those challenges and the fact that people deliberately have put up walls and not wanting to share information with him and not wanting to let him in. But he said that he just took that as an opportunity to continue to push. And then once he got over that wall, he said, he looked back to some other people and was like, come on, y'all, they were lying to me, but now I got the secret, so he's bringing people behind him. And I was like, man, well, you're the Harriet Tubman of what it is that you do. And that's one of the things that's most powerful about this show, about this platform, and the partnership that we have with Revolt. Again, like you said, it's on Revolt TV, on the television network, as well as on its digital property. So you guys certainly should look out for receipts coming up, I think starting in July and taking us through the end of the year.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And it's true. A lot of times we're stereotyped as Black
Oh,
people as being entertainers or athletes. Like we can't do
yeah.
anything else. There are so many innovations and inventions by Black people. And this actually got me down this track of being a talk show host and now being a podcaster. Is when I saw the movie Hidden Figures, right?
Mhm.
I just could not believe that we did not know these Black women helped us in our space exploration. And so that impacted me so much, Condra. I said, I got to do something about this. So I started
Yeah.
on our gospel station, Praise 104.1 in DC, and started spotlighting Black innovators and inventions where you knew the innovation or inventor, but did not know they were Black, you
Wow.
know,
And
and they're
something we
just,
use probably every day.
oh, yeah. There, I mean, there are just so many. I mean, even when we're talking about, and I'm gonna just share a couple for our audience because it's just really that important, especially since we're talking about the show Receipts. Um, Everyone knows about the alarm system, home security alarm
Mhm,
system, and
mhm,
closed circuit TV. It was a Black woman from New York City. I can't remember what borough. In
mhm.
the 60s, she didn't feel safe. She was a nurse. So she invented a home security system. She actually had 3 TV monitors. She had 3 cameras, like basically if it was a child or somebody short, average size, or someone tall, a way to contact police. I mean, and that's why she's also credited with closed circuit television.
Ah,
Everybody knows about, and this is like the new alarm system as we know it today, you know, and that's a Black woman. And another one, everybody knows older people or even younger people with cataracts. The lady who
mhm.
invented the device to remove cataracts, Dr. Patricia Bath, was a Black woman, you know?
Wow.
So, and that's what I'm saying. Like that show Receipts is amazing. And we have so many Black people doing things in STEM, in STEAM, IT,
Absolutely.
it's just incredible. So again, I love that Walmart Unlimited campaign because
Mhm.
everyone can do whatever they want to do if they try hard enough. If you really
Yeah.
want something, you go for it. Okay, Condra, I'm gonna stop preaching. But back to you, Condra
No, I
McGee.
love this. I love this. And it's funny, really quickly, just what you have me thinking about is you're right. I'm in the midst of two series right now. And so on the one hand, I have the shop, right? That's celebrating all of the people that we know, right? We know what their talents are, we know what their success has been. And there's a variety of kind of legends and newcomers, even in that space, right? But then on the other hand, I have those people that we don't quite know about yet. And it's just, again, elevating them to that platform that these others are, right? And celebrating us across the board. And so it's just a reminder of how powerful the images are and the images that we put out. And so I'm just proud to be a part of both of these programs, both the shop and, Walmart receipts.
Yes, because you're doing something positive, and that's important
Yeah.
as well. What's your legacy? What do you be known for? What projects will you be known for associating with? And you just have so many. I know you're busy, and I'm thankful for your time because I mean you're wearing a couple of director hats, doing a
Yes, it's a
couple of
blessing.
things.
Yes, yes, yes. It's a blessing, and there's more to come, right? And so that's the thing I can say. For a long time, I was, had kind of detoured and got on the production side. So I wasn't directing, I was producing, production managing, and then realized, you know what, Condra, don't forget why you're actually here, right? And what your gift is, which is the writing and directing. I mean, all of that has, definitely added value and shaped me into who I am and just made me, I guess, just, wiser with the production experience. But, what happened in the meantime is there are a bunch of ideas that I've had that have been on the back burner, and now those have come to the forefront. And so I'm actively in the process of, kind of pitching those and trying to find a home for them. So there's even going to be more coming out, hopefully really soon, guys.
That is great. So, how many projects are we talking about?
We're
CondraMcGee.com.
talking, we're talking about a lot of projects because I'm talking about a lot of years. All these ideas have been brewing, and so they're both in the unscripted and the scripted space. There's several of them right now. Kei-Touch that we're trying to put out there, but all of them I think have a purpose. And again, like I said, each one has that kind of underlying theme of inspiring and entertaining, no matter how kind of heartfelt and dramatic it is, or if it's just hilariously funny and a good time. I'm always just trying to kind of provoke thought or influence some type of behavior or mindset, just trying to get people to approach and look at life in an entirely different way. That's the power of film, kind of like you said with Hidden Figures. I appreciate that being the power of film and the impact that it had on you.
Oh my goodness, did it ever? Oh my gosh, we're talking
Yeah.
7 years later doing this talk
Yes.
show on the same track. And it's crazy because I never knew or never thought about doing talk or
Wow.
podcasting prior. I'm a
Wow.
DJ,
Right.
and you could probably see the vinyl in the background. That's my dad's
I
collection.
know. I
Rest in
love
peace,
it.
Daddy. Yes. Girl, I got thousands of records here and a reel to reel. It's amazing.
Right.
But this is really cool what you're doing, Condra McGee, CondraMagee.com. Let's go back to the shop. Let's talk about this HBCU tour. I mean,
Ah,
this is really
yes.
cool. This is exciting to me. Talk to me. You did it last season.
Mhm.
Um, Talk to me about the HBCU tour and kind of how it came about to do an
Yeah.
HBCU tour for the shop.
Yeah, if you guys are familiar with the show, obviously the shop, when it originally started, after a couple of episodes, it wound up finding a home on HBO, and so it's always been a television series, and so it migrated over the last couple of years into YouTube, and that actually even makes it even more accessible to more people. But then last year, they actually took the show out on the road. We did a 3-city tour. I know New York was one city, Atlanta. Atlanta, and I think DC might have been the third. So I didn't actually go on tour with them and direct those, but then there was also then the HBCU tour, right? And so we went to Hampton, North Carolina A&T, and Tennessee State. And I did come back and join the team for the Tennessee State episode, which was just a lot of fun. Again, for those of you that have attended an HBCU or gone to an HBCU football game or any type of event, you know the energy that's there. So we were there during homecoming. Everybody's hyped, they're
Oh,
excited about the big
wow.
game. And so it kind of gave us opportunity to be immersed in that culture and to be able to bring our culture in the shop experience to all of the students, and bringing on kind of talent that were either alumni or folks that had some association with the school. And so with that one, we had our host PR, Paul Rivera, and then we had a guest host with Kev on stage. If you're familiar with Kev, the
Yes, he's
hilariously
so
funny, right?
funny.
Yes. And then we had music producer Key Wayne, who is a Tennessee State alumnus, and behind like Beyonce's record Partition, Jasmine Sullivan hits, and just several different hits. And he told this story of how he started in his dorm room, right, where he was making beats and selling them for $40 to people while he was
Wow.
at the school. And that's how he got his start. And then that there were times when he got these opportunities, people started hearing about him. He would kind of be flown out to studio sessions and be doing his homework right, in between making
Wow.
music. And so just imagine that as a young college student, and being able to hear that story, and then to find out that this person is now working with Beyonce. That's again one of the most powerful parts of what we're doing with the shop and this HBCU experience, and being able to celebrate the powerful alumni from these campuses. So I'm excited about that going back on tour, and to a few more campuses.
I just have to say right now, Condra, okay, I have to be at the one for this year. I just have to be at
We're
one
gonna get
of
you
the
there.
HBCUs. Um, I just I want to be there for homecoming. I want to be there for the show
Yes,
because
the
wow,
whole
this is just
experience.
the whole experience. Oh my goodness. So I can't wait. I know it's kind of early. You may not be able to tell me anything yet, but you
Not
have to
yet.
give me those details. And we might have to do this again to talk about that specifically before you go on tour so we can get the word out to those areas or driving areas that people may want to attend. Because, like you said, homecoming, people come back that's graduated 40, 50, 60, is if they're still alive, they're going back or would like to and in good health. They want to go back to homecoming.
They do. And then not only do we bring kind of the live show, right? That's open to the students, obviously, and the public. And at Tennessee State, we had their band even perform. We had Mr. and Mrs. Tennessee State. So it was
Oh,
all of the fanfare, right, was involved. We had Crystal from Tyler Perry's sisters. She didn't actually go to Tennessee State, but she grew up right down the street, and all her family went to Tennessee State. And so she, kind of like a proud tiger too. But in addition to it, afterward, we have a live activation where we're giving out free haircuts, right? And there were other sponsors involved. And so
oh
you think about the
wow.
guys like, I'm going to get this fresh cut at the shop, for free. And so it's just a really, really cool experience. So, I'm going to give you a call as soon as we lock down where we're going, give you the deets
Uh,
on all of that.
yeah, I hope y'all could go to the other TSU, Texas Southern in H Town. That
Texas
would be
Southern, I
great
know,
too.
wouldn't that be a
Oh my
treat?
goodness.
Because
Yes,
there's a
you are.
particular Texas Southern graduate that would be great to have, right?
Yes. Well, I didn't go to TSU. I'm from Houston. I went in the army. Uncle Sam got me first. But yeah,
Right,
that's
right,
still my
right.
city. That's my
I
city,
know
girl.
it.
That's my city.
I was
I
but yeah, I know you did it. I know your background, but I think
uh
Meg, right? Meg the Stallion went to
Oh, absolutely, girl.
okay,
Shut
okay.
down the campus. My uncle, uh, he actually is a police officer at Texas Southern, and he said it was so many people. And again, going back to inspiration, that might need to
Mhm.
be our next guest. Going back to inspiration, I just thought it was amazing. She was at the height or climbing in her
Yeah,
career, multimillionaire,
Mhm.
on tour, selling records, and she is in school and graduated in her 20s. I mean, all these distractions, all these things going on, she still graduated. That tells you the power of education, the
Yep.
power of a degree, and no one can take it from you. And
Yep.
and she, I would say, and I might be misquoting, but I know she wants to start businesses and help other people in the community as well. And that's what you were saying. Like, once you make it, reach back and grab a couple of others with you, like you were saying, your guest on receipts. That's what
Yeah.
it's all about. And like what I say, we all can win. There's no reason for hate, none of that. We all
Right.
can win. So that leads me to where I'm going next with my question. What guidance do you have for someone who's aspiring to be a director, whether scripted or unscripted, a combination? What is your guidance or your words of wisdom for them?
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I think the first thing is just making sure that this is what you're passionate about and that this is what your purpose is. And this is coming
Mm,
from someone where even like I tell you my journey, I knew what I wanted to do, but I still pursued business. I still went to corporate America after graduation and took the long way, right, to get here and then had to tell myself, Condra, don't forget, right? And I became big on purpose just a couple of years ago because I recognized that that's where your joy is. No matter how much money you make, your joy is truly going to be in your purpose. So I like to say that whenever I have the opportunity. But then outside of that, it's getting as much experience as you can, right? And so looking for those opportunities to work on other projects and to shadow directors and to kind of follow and just do the research. And some of that research is even going to be as simple as you watching a movie, right? Or watching a documentary if that's what you're into and that's what you perhaps might want to direct, and just noticing the art form, right? And the style and thinking about the decisions that were made because all of it is intentional. And it's funny when people talk about they were watching movies, but they were doing work. I was like, you're doing a disservice because everything that we put in there, that art direction, the set, and everything is intentional, and that's a part of the story making. So, you can glean a lot from that. And then also I'd say just not to be afraid, right? Because fear is a waste of time. This is somebody who learned the hard way, guys. Fear is absolutely a waste of time, and it just becomes a distraction for what it is that you ultimately want to do. So just get out there, and obviously the barriers to entry have become fewer, right? Those walls have come down, and there are a lot of things that you can do even on your own in creating your own piece and directing and just looking for those opportunities. It might just be start off as a commercial. It might be a music video for your friend who wants to be an artist. Just get out there and do it and create your style and kind of determine and identify your lane. And that's where you'll exist and that's where you'll thrive.
Love it. Condra Magee, you're just amazing.
Thank
I want to
you.
go back real quick to the shop's grooming line. Let's talk about those 7 products because men pay attention, women pay attention for the men in your life, the young men in your life, your sons, your nephews, godsons, whatever. Talk to me. Walmart, it is affordable.
What's funny about that is that the guy said that they did kind of some focus groups and they asked that question, kind of who put you on to products. And a lot of the guys said that it was a mom, a sister, or a girlfriend. Right. And so I guess guys aren't just as inclined to go out there and try some products themselves, but definitely women have been saying, hey, why don't you try this? Right. And so that would be the thing that kind of helps them to transition into kind of considering the grooming. But with the 7 products, we have the face wash, there's a face lotion, there is a beard cream, there's a toner, I think there's a hair pomade. That might be 6. I
Oh,
might be missing one, but there's just an
that's
array of
good.
products, yeah, that you can go and get that's gonna take care of you, of your skin and your hair, have you looking good when you hit the streets. It's summertime, so we know everybody's going outside.
Yes, you gotta be looking fresh, looking your best. I
Yes,
love
yes.
it. Yeah, I was like, I have to make sure I cover these products just so they kind of understand what they can get
Thank
at
you. I appreciate
Walmart. Yes, and get this at Walmart and they can, make a small investment to
Mhm.
take care of themselves. I just think it's great. Okay, so I already asked you. Well, you kind of told me what was next. You have all these projects that are sitting, waiting, and you're trying to get them out now, and we'll have some more information. Hopefully, by the time I bring you back, we can
Yes.
talk about that further and see what else you have going on. Look, this is just amazing. Again, Condra Magee, CondraMagee.com, director of LeBron James Springhill Company, award winning, Emmy award winning series of The Shop. And you're the
Yes,
first female director, right? First female director?
I am. I am the first female director, recurring director that they've had on the show. And speaking of Emmy, the show,
Yes.
won Emmy awards prior to my arrival. But then for last year, for season 6, we were nominated again for an Emmy, for a sports Emmy. We didn't actually win that, but just God, to think about how big of a deal that is for me to join the show and then for it to get nominated for an Emmy again. It's just, I'm living the dream, guys.
Who did you lose to?
We lost to Real Sports with Brian Gumbel, right? And then
Oh, that's
I
a
tell
win.
people,
I mean, I'm being funny.
exactly, exactly. That's what I've been telling people. Like, hey, I lost to Brian Gumbel, right? I wasn't able to say that, a year ago, and I came up on Real Sports and watching it, and so I know how great of a show that is, and just to be a part of a program that's named in that same category that has the likes of that particular program and Brian Gumbel. It's an awesome feeling that I have and where I am in life. So happy that I've made the decision to again return to my roots and into my purpose and why I'm here.
I love that. And again, you keep saying walk in your purpose, work in your
Yes,
purpose. And I just have to say it. If you don't know your purpose, hang around people who do, and maybe you will find yours. Okay. Don't hang around people that are lost just like you. Okay.
I'm
And
still in
again,
that Kei-Touch. I'm a still that one.
oh, yeah. Well, hey, I mean, that's a real statement though, because you see a lot of
Yeah,
people that are lost hanging together, and you see, because your friends and the people you associate with speak volumes about you. People don't
absolutely.
realize that. That's your friend. That's who you're hanging with.
Yes, absolutely. And so to that note, I saw a video somebody sent me yesterday where it was a small snippet of Magic Johnson, who said that once he got started, someone gave him this advice that, if you think that you're the best in the league, the best to ever do it, then you need to surround yourself with the best. He said he went home and fired
Mm.
everybody he had on his team and hired more people because he realized that that's the caliber of work and excellence and the expectation that he'd have because he considered himself to be the best. Now, I'm not saying for people to just run out and go tell all your friends, I'm never talking to you again,
Right,
but it
right.
definitely makes sense to do that assessment and make sure that, what do they say? If you're the smartest person in your
In
group,
your
then
group, you're in the
you need
wrong group.
exactly, just to make sure that you're always growing. So you're absolutely
And
right.
And let's just talk about that just for a second. And that is so true because if you're the smartest person in your group, think about it. You're always giving, giving, giving,
Yeah,
but you're not receiving anything. Everyone uses everyone. And I don't mean in a negative sense. If you're
right.
feeling down, you have that friend you can call that'll crack you up, change your mood up a little bit. You have
Yes.
different people you rely on for different things. And so if you're good in this and like equally yoked doesn't just go to, intimate relationships,
Relationships. Mhm.
it's your friendships as well. Your friends, like my best friends from Houston, we're all successful. And we go all the way back to high school, but we were like-minded even back as kids. And
Mhm.
that's why our relationship has continued to flourish. Because think about it, you do outgrow people that you just hang around because they're cool, but they have nothing going for them. As you continue to climb, you're going to leave them behind. And it's not that you're, like just trying to leave them behind, but you're doing different things. Uh, you've grown so much that you need something else. And that's not to, like I said, like you said, not to get rid of all your friends that you currently have, but just do an assessment.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's funny, earlier this season, we had wide receiver Devontae Adams on the show. And he said something, kind of very similar to that. And even talking about, whose opinion and advice he respects. He said, I mean, there's some people out there that I won't even take their opinion on a movie, just because our tastes might be different. So you have to actually know who it is that you have around you and either what their motivation is or what their experience is to make a determination on if that's actually applicable to you. And all of that sort of stuff matters when you're working on your growth.
Absolutely, because you are growing, Condra
Yeah.
McGee's. So much more to come. I just love it. Look, check out the shop. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube,
Right.
fully accessible for the men in your life. And men, go to Walmart, check out the shop's grooming
Yes,
line.
and let me just say this, the shop, the series is not just focused towards men. Definitely the grooming line, it's a men's grooming line, but women, your guys need you. So you go out there and you buy the product for them, right? Or for your
Yes.
sons or whoever, make it a gift. They'll love it, okay? And then the shop absolutely is universal, right? It's for for everybody. It's a kind of a multi-ethnic array of talent that we have on the show, and both men and women. So, and again, the beauty of it is just I guess the cross section from athletes and to entertainers into kind of business people, and so it just runs the gamut. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that there's always going to be a great story for each of you, included in every episode of the shop.
Look at you doing your job. I love it.
No, for sure. No, because that's the thing. That's the beauty of it. And I know it sounds like an ad, but quite frankly, that is the beauty of what it is that we do. And I'll be honest, it's the thing that excites me, being able to get all of these same people or all of these people in a room. So when I talked to you about Trent talking about his cancer story, in that room also was LL Cool J, right? And then Lena Waithe.
Oh,
Okay, right. And then we had
wow.
Mo
Okay.
Gilligan, comedian Mo Gilligan, who's from England, and then blew up on Instagram, right? And then we had Teddy
Mm.
Swims join us, the white soulful singer from out here in Conyers, Georgia, who's kind of climbing up the charts right now. So it's just, that's the thing that's unique with a lot of other programs. They might have just one guest and they focus on that one guest, but we bring a lot of people to the table and are able to share experiences and then also learn that there's the common thread behind the unique behind the human experience, right? And everybody be able to share on that. So that's the joy of being a part of that show.
I mean, we can tell you just love it. So passionate, and that's so important. I love it. And
Yes.
also check out Receipts. It's
Yes.
available on Revolt TV. Condra McGee, thank you so much. And I can't wait to have you back.
Thank you. I love it. Just let me know when, and I'm gonna hit you up, like I said, on the HBCU tour. I got you.
I can't wait. I'll never keep touch the podcast.